trying to see if we can fix the internet. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl.
I can't hear you.
Lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Yeah, someone keeps chewing on the cables. That's what happens when you have ponies in the house. Well, lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. We're gonna try to do the stream. The internet might be a little laggy. If it gets too bad, we can always cancel, but Lucky really hopes to not have to cancel because Lucky wants to stream. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, tech support. We are trying to see if we can get it figured out. I think it's okay. We might have to call the internet people again and let them know that our internet is still bad, but hopefully it'll be okay. Aw. Lucky is sad to have technical difficulties, but Lucky's gonna try to have a fun time anyway. Yeah, the internet is just bad today. Well, maybe we can call the internet people, have them come back this weekend. It's really silly that they gave us a new router and we've been having more problems than usual. Anyway, lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Welcome to the lucky stream. We are having a slow start, but that's okay. Lucky's got some of the drawings from last time. Lucky's gonna put them over there. And Lucky's gonna draw new stuff today. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we can keep checking on it and hopefully it won't get too bad. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Everyone can hear okay though, right? Everything is good. Lucky's gonna do a soundboard. Yay, yay, yay. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Okay, Lucky's gonna draw. Lucky's gonna do a little warm up. Lucky's gonna draw a little warm up wormwood. Lucky is still using this drawing pad because Lucky can't afford a sketchbook yet, which is why Lucky needs to become Twitch affiliate so Lucky can afford a new sketchbook using the Twitch money. If Lucky become affiliate, Lucky will get like $9 and then Lucky can use that for a new sketchbook. Lucky's gonna draw a little guy. Yeah. Yeah. Lucky doesn't do any warm-ups before the stream. This is literally Lucky's first drawing today, so it's fun to see everything happen in real time. Oh yeah, background music is a good idea. Because Lucky adds music really quiet in the highlights, and it's kind of nice to have music going during the drawing stream. That's smart. Well, maybe we can do that next time. We can set it up to be nice and quiet. Honestly, after the break, we might be able to set that up. Yeah, we do have lots of music to play. Yeah, true. Rock songs would be cute, honestly. Well, let's set it up sometime. That would be fun. Have some background music. Okay, let's see. Eileen had a request earlier before the stream started. Eileen was saying a drawing of PD skateboarding. Lucky has to look up what a skateboard looks like because it's important to look at reference images even for simple things. You gotta make sure you have like a concept of it. That's what happens when you can't visualize. Okay, so we're gonna have PD on a skateboard. And a skateboard is like, well, I guess we should draw PD first and then the skateboard. PD will be like that. It's not the best PD face. No, she doesn't really look like that. That's not very accurate. This one didn't turn out right. She's like, what? She's like, why do I look like this? Okay, let me try that again. Well, I mean, I guess it's okay as just a first draft because we gotta draw the skateboard also. Skateboard's gonna look like something like see, that's a bad skateboard. This is why we're practicing. It's kind of a weird looking skateboard. Yeah, it's a silly one. But it's okay, we are learning. Yeah, that's what happens when you're on a skateboard, right? Your head gets all weird. Goes to your head. Okay, Lucky's gonna try that again. Take two. Beauty on a skateboard. Yeah. That's already better. That's like, yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. It's kind of a silly skateboard, but it's considerably better. Yeah. See, you just gotta practice. Oh yeah, and then we can also like do a little cloud. And that's how you know that she's doing a really cool trick. Because she's like up above the cloud. Yeah, that's super cute. Lucky's gonna kill this one. Yeah. Lucky's really happy with that. Maybe Wormwood is watching. Wormwood's really impressed. Yeah, 80s skateboard. Lucky doesn't know enough about skateboards to know the difference. Oh yeah, I guess in the 80s there were like little ones. looking up pictures of them. That's cool. There's so many types of skateboards. Those are just the kind of skateboards they have in heaven. Lucky's gonna practice more. Lucky's gonna draw wormwood. Yeah. And Lucky's gonna draw. Lucky's gonna draw hemlock. Yeah, skateboards come in many different species. There's like the poison dart skateboard and the skateboard that gives birth to other skateboards through little holes in the surface of it. There's many types of skateboard. There's like tree skateboards that climb trees. Yeah, little baby skateboards that go through metamorphosis, little tadpole skateboards. Tiny little skateboards that they start out as just little wheels and then they grow into skateboards. Or maybe they start as like those little tech deck, is that the one, the little tiny ones? Tiny little skateboards that grow into big skateboards. Lucky is going to draw the life cycle of a skateboard. Well, that wouldn't be easy to draw because it would just be a tiny skateboard and then a big skateboard. But Lucky will draw poison dart skateboard. This one is like really tiny. Well, see, that barely looks like a skateboard. Lucky has trouble with the these kind of shapes. There we go. Okay, and then this one's got like spots. Yeah. That's the poison dart skateboard. Maybe Lucky should start doing warm-ups before the stream because some of these are turning out very silly. Feels like we're struggling to get momentum. This is the tree skateboard. This is like it's got long legs and it climbs trees. Yeah, and it's kind of like that. Yeah, and then this is the skateboard that gives birth to other skateboards through its back. It goes like got like this, but then it's got like other skateboards just kind of beside it. And they all pop out. It's got like weird looking wheels. Yeah. And then these are all baby skateboards. Or maybe these are like the holes after the babies come out. Yeah, that makes sense. That illustrates it a little bit better. That's some of the varieties of skateboard that you can find in nature. Oh yeah, roller skates are like larval skateboards that grow to adulthood without completing their metamorphosis. Yeah, neotenic skateboards. That's what roller skates are. They're the axolotls of skateboards. That actually makes a lot of sense. And because they're so tiny, they have to find mates really quickly in life to protect them from the elements, and that's why they come in pairs. That's where roller skates come from. Lucky wants roller skates. Roller skates would be fun. Roller skates, that lets you be a car in real life. This drawing stream is Lucky is struggling to focus today. I think the technical difficulties really threw Lucky off. Just having internet problems. We should really start doing regular internet tests before the streams just to be sure. But that's okay. I mean, we got a cute drawing. Let's get the other drawing in front of us so we can remember how much we've accomplished already. Got skateboarding PD, and that's really cute. And then we've got some more skateboards. Lucky had an idea for drawing like the story of how a wormwood met hemlock. Wormwood is just like exploring. Maybe Wormwood's just like hanging out with Behemoth one day. Um, hmm. And then Wormwood sees a strange little creature. And Hemlock is drinking Behemoth's blood. Wormwood is like, whoa. And then Wormwood goes to Danny. This is like, you know, dramatic montage of like what happened. But then Wormwood goes to talk to Danny. And then this is where we get some dialogue. Because Danny's just like hanging out, looking at clouds, you know, doing angel stuff. Wormwood is like freaking out. Wormwood's like, Danny. Yeah. Wormwood sees this, and Wormwood's like, whoa. And Wormwood's like, Danny. And Danny's like, what's up, Wormwood? And then and Wormwood's like, I saw a guy. And Danny's just like, huh? uh, yeah. That Wormwood turned out a little silly. That's kind of a freaky looking Wormwood. Lucky doesn't like that one. Let's see, a different one. Mm-hmm. Wormwood's like, I'll show you. And so now they're gonna go see Hemlock. It's not what Lucky meant to do. So then they go to look, but there's nothing there. Everyone's like, there was some other guy over here. And then Wormwood makes this face, which I think is funny. And Danny's just like this. These are two different shots. This is Wormwood, and then we cut to Danny, and Danny's just kind of like, okay. And that's the end of the story. That's how Wormwood meets Hemlock, and that's their dynamic. No one believes Wormwood about Hemlock. Oh, Kiri's awake. Good morning, Kiri. Aw, thank you. Lucky's happy. Lucky's happy that the expressions are good. Lucky has a lot of fun with them, but sometimes worries that it won't turn out that interesting to other people. So Lucky's glad you appreciate it. Lucky was drawing that whole comic and was like, maybe this is like really boring to watch. It would be more fun with music, but uh, Lucky really enjoys all the little faces. Cat's out on library adventure, and when she noticed I was awake because I posted, she texted, "Good morning, my little round giraffe," and that mental image is stuck in my head now. That's my first doodle idea submission, little round giraffe. Thank you, Kiri. That's a really good submission, and also a really good story. Lucky likes thinking about little round giraffe. That's really cute. Thank you, thank you. Lucky's going to draw a little round giraffe. Lucky's a little unfocused today. We were having technical difficulties earlier, and I think that just always throws Lucky off a little bit. But Lucky is really happy to see everyone. Lucky is really excited to draw more. We're getting into the flow of it now. We drew a little comic, and it was really fun. Lucky's gonna draw a round giraffe. What does a giraffe look like? Lucky's gonna see. Okay, so a giraffe looks like that. But if it was round, it would be a little giraffe orb. Kiri's on a 5-stream streak. Yeah, good job. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Lucky's gonna draw a round giraffe. Well, the first step to drawing anything round is a circle. And then you gotta give it the little... Lucky was talking about these earlier on the stream. The little giraffe horns, the little antennas. Lucky doesn't remember what those are called. There's a word for them. Lucky forgot to look it up. There was another stream where Lucky was talking about it. A giraffe is like if a cow is really tall, so a round giraffe is kind of just like a weird cow. It's got kind of like a mane. It's got like a little bit of that, and then it's got like a little bit of a tail. And it's got like some little feets, little footsies. Ossicones, thank you. Thank you. They are called ossicones. That's what it is. Bone cones. Now I texted Kat, buses are like metal loaves of bread. Yeah, you have a lot of good ideas. Lucky's glad. Lucky's getting carried by Kiri's ideas. Thank you. That's why they call you Kiri, because you carry the team. He said that, and then immediately Lucky's headphones turned off and made a little like meow 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 noise as they were like shutting down, and it was really funny. It was like Lucky said something very silly, and Lucky's headphones were like, no. Yeah, I'm glad the internet is good now. That's good. I'm glad it hasn't been laggy. That makes Lucky happy. Lucky's happy when everything is going right. When everything is going lucky. Yeah. Okay, Lucky's gonna draw. Buses are like metal loaves of bread. Buses are like metal loaves of bread. How would you draw a metal loaf of bread? It would just look like a loaf of metal. A loaf of bread. I mean, you could have like slices of bread coming off the loaf. I guess we didn't really finish the giraffe. It should probably have more spots. Yeah, that's good enough. Giraffes are hard. Lucky has seen giraffes in real life, but it's hard to do them justice in a little doodle. They're really special guys. I mean, that just kind of just looks like a cow. I think colors would help. Cat stories. Cat texted me when the server brought your sandwich, the bag tipped over and she righted it, patted the top of the bag and said, "Don't do that. Stay a sandwich. Be a good sandwich." That's really cute. Don't do that. Stay a sandwich. Be a good sandwich. That's really, really cute. Be a good sandwich. Lucky's gonna be thinking about that forever. That's the cutest story ever. Sandwich tips over and you say, "Don't do that. Be good." Yeah, be a good sandwich. Everyone should be a good sandwich. It's really nice to talk gently to an object and tell it to be good. Lucky loved doing that. Oh, Lucky dropped pen. Lucky was thinking about bread and sandwiches and when objects are good. And then Lucky got distracted and dropped pen. You are a good sandwich. You're a good sandwich. Lucky doesn't know what to call people in chat. Does Lucky call you Necron? Lucky wants to address people in chat, but always feels weird shortening people's names. Yeah. Good sandwich, good sandwich. Metal loaf of bread. Lucky's gonna draw a metal loaf of bread. Yay. Well, Necron is good sandwich. And Lucky's going to draw, what if bread was metal? The hard part is getting the, let's see, what if we look up, as usual, Lucky just looks up clip art because clip art is the best reference for how to simplify something into a cartoon. Clip art of a loaf of bread. Because then you get an idea of like, okay, how do people use lines to suggest this shape? As it turns out, clip art is actually like one of the highest forms of art. The bus is a good sandwich. Well, is a bus a sandwich if a bus is a loaf of bread? Maybe a bus is just the thing you use to make the sandwich. The people are the slices of bread that come off of the loaf. And so sandwiches are made of people. So a sandwich is like a relationship maybe. Like a family of some kind. A bus is an entire loaf, it could be many good sandwiches. Yeah, exactly. Oh, a bus is hollow, so the passengers are the filling. A bus is a wrap. This is so complicated. Well, if a bus is a wrap, when you hollow out a sub bun and fill it with peanut butter and jelly, you can do that? You can just make a sub, you can just fill the bread with a thing inside it. You can just hollow out the bread. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's like a bread bowl. I mean, somehow Lucky's never considered that. I mean, I'm sure we've seen it somewhere before. You hollow out the bread and then you just fill it with the things. That's like the ultimate sandwich. That's like turning the entire bread into sandwich. That's genius. So that's what kind of sandwich a bus is then. Lucky drew the bread bus. It's just a bus shaped like bread. That was Lucky's best idea for illustrating all these concepts. A bus is kind of a big complicated skateboard with peanut butter and jelly inside. That's true, actually. Thank you. Thank you. Lucky's very proud of it. Bread bus, bread bus. Um, you could put some butter on it or like some jelly. Peanut butter and jelly inside the bus. Oh, Lucky forgot to put phone on silent. There we go. Lucky was getting messages. Oh, Lucky bonked the mic, sorry. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, Lucky wants to draw something harder. Or maybe not harder, but bigger. Lucky wants to draw something Lucky can get really involved in. Actually, Lucky's gonna remove the previous pages so Lucky can show off the other things Lucky's drawn today. To remove this very carefully. Here is orbs, different species of skateboard found in nature, and then this is the beginning of a comic about wormwood and hemlock. Yeah, yeah. No, Lucky's definitely seen round giraffes that look like that. Either a squishmallow or something like that. Some kind of giraffe orb. It's definitely been done before. Art imitates life. Round giraffes are real. Don't let them hide the truth from you. This is how the comic ends, as they go back to Behemoth and no one is there, and Wormwood says there was some other guy over here. And Danny is just kind of confused slash amused. And Wormwood is unhappy. Wormwood is not happy with this outcome. An orb with several sticks attached to the neck and legs. I mean, you could also do that. Yeah, like a giraffe where just the body is round. Or, I mean, you could do a giraffe where, like, every part of it is inflated and round, but, like, separately. A giraffe made of orbs, you know? Let's illustrate. We've got, like, orb for a head. And orbs for ossicones. And then we've got, like, orb eyes. I mean, that just looks like wormwood. But then you add ears. And then you got, like, you know, you got the long neck, but then you got orb. And then you got some orb feet. And then, you know, you still got some spots. Giraffe spots are hard to draw. But you get the idea. And that's a giraffe that is also round, but in a different way. These are two different kinds of round giraffe. Lucky actually prefers this one. This one looks really funny. It still has like the essence of a giraffe, even though it's round, you know? I think that's what's important. Yeah, it looks like a toy. Lucky had a toy like that, like a dog from a thrift store that looked something like that. It was really cute. A roundish giraffe that was kind of bean shaped. That sounds amazing. Thank you. Lucky's really happy with the bonky toy giraffe. Lucky really likes that a lot, actually. Hopefully that's Lucky's trying really hard to get the image in focus, but the camera's like focused as much as it can be. Lucky realized last time it was set to autofocus and it was making things silly when they got up close, so we now just have it focused as close as possible. Any other focus just makes it blurry. Yeah, a little soft rubbery clacks as it skitter wobbles across the hard floor. That's a beautiful description. Yeah, fauna from Marble Universe. Maybe there's a Marble world where everything is made of orbs, and this is what giraffes look like. There should be a game that's just Marble World. It's just a world where everything is marble. Lucky really likes marble giraffe. What else can Lucky draw? Lucky's going to draw the conclusion to the story in just a single image. And it's just wormwood, and then like there's like a little thought bubble, and wormwood is remembering the strange creature he saw. He is unsettled by this image. There's something about this that disturbs Wormwood. Wormwood is haunted by hemlock, and no one understands. Wormwood sees this character everywhere and doesn't know what his deal is or why he's so similar to Wormwood but so different. Wormwood doesn't know why he drinks blood. Wormwood's like, am I supposed to be drinking blood? Is that something that bugs do? Wormwood doesn't understand. Danny doing the Toking Mario meme. Where, Lucky doesn't know that one. Lucky's gonna look it up. Kiri, maybe you can send this because Lucky can't find it with a simple search. Lucky doesn't know. Lucky doesn't know which one this is. Lucky's not getting good search results when searching for this meme. This is a meme that Lucky is not familiar with. Yeah, Lucky still can't find the meme. Oh, okay. Lou is going to send the meme. This might be it, but Lucky's not sure. I mean, yeah, Lucky was imagining it's just a redraw of Mario with weed, but Lucky didn't know how to find that particular image. Okay, Lucky is opening Discord so Lucky can... Oh, Kiri also posted it. Yeah, Kiri posted it. Lucky's gonna go to that link and look at it. Yeah, Kiri's got a know your meme page. Oh, wait, is that right? Lucky typed it in wrong. Meme.com. Memes. Lucky typed it in wrong. There we go. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. Lucky's going to draw that. Lucky needs to really make some space for Weed Danny. Yeah, Danny sometimes has arms. Danny has arms, but they're not always visible. Wormwood also has arms that are not always visible. I mean, this could be Wormwood, but Danny is shaped more like Mario, so it makes the most sense. I mean, canonically, Ruby and Mike smoke, and Danny probably wouldn't, but you know, Danny could give it a try. Let's see. Danny would look like. Gotta have the weed, but also, let's see. This is a practice run. This is just the first draft. This is not going to turn out as intended. Although it is funny to imagine that this is just kind of like edited badly, so it just looks weird. But it did not. It's just coming right out of Danny's eye. It's like not working. The perspective is kind of tricky. Lucky appreciates this challenge. Lucky's trying to sort of like, get something similar to the to the meme, but make it its own thing also. Okay, so that obviously didn't turn out exactly as intended, but Lucky's gonna try again. Two of them smoking weed together, getting in trouble. Yeah. I mean, but would they be doing the same pose, or would they be like mirrored? Lucky's gonna try again. That's not quite right. Something like. Thank you, thank you. Lucky's gonna try really hard. Lucky's not used to drawing characters with weed, and it's harder than it looks. See, the perspective didn't turn out as good on this one. This looks really bad. How do you, it's like, the thing about the Mario is that the weed is like edited on top of him, and it's obviously not supposed to be there. But so, okay, Lucky's gonna look at more reference images, because you gotta show the weed actually in the mouth. Mario's just got his mouth open and it's just kind of floating on top of him. But the Undertale version, or the Delta Rune or whatever. Lucky was just talking about how Lucky hasn't actually played Delta Rune yet. Really needs to, because Lucky's been hearing good things about it. Okay, so this one didn't turn out good either, but Lucky's gonna try again. Kind of trying not to get the exact pose, but just kind of capture the spirit of it. Okay, Lucky's gonna. See, that doesn't quite work. Um, no, it's not working. Okay, wait, Lucky's gonna try again. Lucky's determined. Okay, Lucky's gonna look at Kiri's version. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. Yeah, see, the way you drew that mouth, that's how Lucky was thinking about drawing it. Okay, that's smart. That looks better. And then this is the hard part is you gotta like, there we go. That looks really bad. Okay, Lucky's still practicing. Lucky's gonna get it. This looks so silly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, Lucky, it's funny that it's just the pose that's so hard. Wait, this is actually great though. It's so silly looking. It was really bad. Okay, Lucky's gonna do one more. This time Lucky's not gonna worry so much about the perspective. Lucky's just gonna start with the head. Okay, I mean honestly this one kinda I think Lucky kinda nailed it. The eyes are a little wonky, but I think it's good. Yeah. Lucky's proud of this one. I don't know if the smoke is right. I guess that's close enough. Yeah, no, that looks pretty good. It didn't end up exactly how Lucky imagined, but thank you. Lucky's very proud of it. Yeah, this is like this is like when Danny just is getting started, and then this is when it's like a little too much. Yeah, that turned out pretty good. Lucky's happy with that. Thank you for the challenge, Kiri. That was really fun. Okay, it's been an hour. Lucky's going to, well, it hasn't really been an hour because we got a little bit of a slow start, but that's okay. Lucky's going to take a break and be back very soon. And then Lucky's going to draw even more. Lucky's really excited to draw more. Okay, BRB. swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky has returned. Hi, hi, hi. Lucky is back for more drawing stream. Thank you for your patience. So today we have drawn cool Weed Danny and cool Skateboard Petey. And I think they look really cute together. I think this is like, it's a good combo. They're both getting up to trouble and having... Yeah. Lucky's excited for more drawing. Hi, every pony. Lucky's gonna have so much fun. Lucky's gonna draw more. Lucky's really excited that Lucky has 21 followers now. Lucky only needs 4 more followers to become Twitch Philly. Oh, Cat's back. Show her giraffe. Yeah. Cat, look, there's gonna be a giraffe. Where's the giraffe? Oh yeah, it's on this page. Here is round giraffe for Cat. It's giraffe made of orbs. We tried this version, but it looked just kind of too predictable and cow-like, so we tried something a little more creative. Also, there is a bus that is a loaf of bread also. Yeah, that's some of Lucky's things that Lucky drew. Lucky's gonna rip that page out too, so I can show that. Yeah. What should Lucky draw next? Lucky's having kind of a sleepy day. Lucky's like kind of having a sleepy week. Just been sleepy every day this week. Maybe it's just the heat wave. Just a sleepy pony. Gonna take a big nap after the stream. And then maybe just like nap for a few days. Just get really rested. Yeah, Kiri's sleepy too. Everyone's sleepy. It's a sleepy time. Kiri's always sleepy though. But Lucky gets that. Lucky loves being sleepy. UFO that is a pizza. Pizza UFO. Lucky will try. Let's see. UFO that is a pizza. Pizza UFO. Unidentified flying pizza. UFP. UFO that is a pizza. Well, a pizza UFO, is it a flying pizza or is it a UFO that is also like does it have like the shape of a UFO? Probably like, well, UFO is like, very simple, something like that. And sometimes it's got like little footsies like that. Sometimes it's got like little blinky lights like that. And sometimes you can give it like a little antenna like that. Sometimes it has like a tractor beam. But if a UFO is a pizza, well, let's see. This could be like, this is basically the same, but then you've got like, this is like some kind of pepperoni crust, you've got like little pepperonis. And then you've got like, what are those little, oh, maybe the pizza table is the UFO. Yeah. Lucky was gonna say maybe the feet are like the little feet of the pizza table. The little pizza guy. UFO with crust, pepperoni that emits beams. Yeah, that could also work. There's a lot of ways to do this. The little pizza table, yeah, the little guy. That could be like, it's like, it's like that, right? And then like that, and then it's got like a third leg back there. That's like, it didn't turn out very good. What if it was like, yeah, no, that's not very, it doesn't really read as like a little plastic pizza chair um, is also the UFO. It's not quite right. Maybe the pizza table is the UFO dome. Yeah, you could do that. Okay, so the little pizza table, we all know about the pizza table, right? The guy that holds the slices together. That could be like this. It kind of looks like a bacteriophage. It's a pizza bacteriophage. That's what it is. That's the dome. Well, but then you have to have like, maybe it should have been upside down. Lucky's not really sure. There's so many ways to approach this. And Lucky's just kind of exploring all kinds of ideas. Pizza could have like, oh yeah, it holds the box up. That's true. Lucky was getting it wrong. Right, the table, it sticks into the slices and it keeps the slices, it probably does a good job of keeping the slices apart, but the main thing is that the legs stick into the slices and then the top of the table holds the box up away from the pizza so that presumably that helps so that the box doesn't cave in on the pizza and like get stuck to it. You're right, that's a good point. That is probably how it's supposed to work. Lucky forgets the engineering of the pizza table, but that is it. Yeah. Lucky loves the little pizza table. Lucky always wants to have a little picnic. Multi-purpose pizza engineering. That's the great thing about engineering is sometimes the thing can be multi-purpose. It can do all kinds of stuff. And then you have a beautiful ecosystem of design where everything contributes in different ways and it all works together in beautiful harmony. Okay, unidentified flying pizza. Really, I think the most important thing is to advance pizza dynamics. The most important thing is to know how to draw a pizza. Because so far we've been drawing a lot of UFOs, but what does a pizza look like? A pizza is like this, and then it's also got slices. You know, assuming we're going with like a traditional round pizza. You got your slices. And then each of those slices is going to have all kinds of toppings. It's going to have, you know, pepperoni. Make sure each one has like at least one or two pepperoni slices on it. And then it's got like, you know, probably some olives. That's classic. Lucky can't eat olives. That's poison for Lucky, but it's okay. Lucky appreciates the things that Lucky can't have. And honestly, if this pizza's from space, then who's to say the olives aren't some kind of special alien olive? Okay, and then we've got the pepperonis. Give them some little speckles to show that they're pepperonis. And I mean, that's a pretty good pizza. You know, that's not the best pizza ever drawn, but that's pretty decent. And so then, starting from that, you can just do like, I mean, really, you could just have that flying in the air, you know. Maybe it's got some little feet. Maybe maybe this pizza has some landing stuff. And maybe the pizza has like, yeah, put like another foot there. And then also let's show that it's in the clouds. You know, this pizza's flying. I want to believe in pizza. And then we can have like mysterious tractor beam of some kind emanating from the pizza. And this is a UFO pizza. And maybe we can do like, you know, just to really enhance the otherworldly feeling, we can show that there's like some celestial objects visible. You know, maybe this is like one of those mornings where the sky is dark enough that you can see the moon and some stars. Or maybe this is like an evening. Chat, what would you do if you looked up in the sky and you saw this? Also, would you eat it if you had the chance? Would you eat the flying pizza? Thank you. Lucky I wasn't even looking at the chat. Special alien olives that are special alien poison. Yeah, olives that are poison to aliens, but not for ponies. Or maybe a different kind of poison for ponies, but like a good kind of poison. What kind of stuff do pizza aliens abduct? Italian cows. Yeah. Actually, yeah. UFO pizza would go to Italy and beam up some cows and use them to make the cheese for their pizzas. Thank you. Lucky's happy you like it. Lucky's really happy with UFO pizza. There's that show The Weekenders that every episode they go to a pizza place and it's like rebranded to be a different themed restaurant, but it's always a pizza place, but it's like it's always a different kind of pizza place. There's probably one where it's a UFO or just alien themed in general or space themed because they do all kinds of stuff. They do like medieval pizza and like sci-fi pizza. Lucky really likes The Weekenders. Lucky thinks that that was a goated show. As a cartoon enjoyer, Lucky recommend that one. There's just something about it as a vibe. That show is kind of crazy because the guy pitched it by he was just desperate for pitches. Like Disney really wanted a pitch for a cartoon show, and this guy was just throwing out all his ideas, and they didn't like any of them. And then he was just like scrambling, looking through his notes, and he wrote somewhere like um, that he remembered that he liked to have fun hanging out with his friends on the weekend when he was a kid. And so he was like, I used to hang out with my friends on the weekend, and all the Disney guys looked at each other and they were just like, that's it, that's the one. Make a show about that. We don't care. Just do it. And so they made The Weekenders, and it's just a show about kids hanging out on the weekend. And then they made an instrumental for the theme song, and they sent it to that guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Lucky forgets his name, but he just improvised lyrics to the theme song, like based on the description of the show. And so they just threw it together really quick, and then it turned out to be they called it the Pokemon Killer because it was the show that finally performed better than Pokemon as like a Saturday morning cartoon, and finally helped the Disney Channel like get a little bit more popular when like at that point Pokemon was taking over kids TV. And that's some stories Lucky knows about the Weekenders. So it's kind of bonkers that that show exists. And Lucky really appreciates it for that. Lucky likes when there's a fun production story behind something. Yeah, right? Like he nailed it. Just like, you could do the most complicated show, or you could just be like, what if you just hang out on the weekend? Everyone likes the weekend. And so the format of the show is like, it'll do like, titles. It'll be like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be like the whole weekend. And then, and then I think it even does Monday, and it's kind of like they all go back to school, and you don't see them like at school mostly. The idea is they're going back to school after the weekend, and they're ready to continue their life, but like they've learned something, or gone through an arc. Something has changed over the weekend, and so it's like the whole weekend has been a journey throughout over the course of the episode. Thank you. Lucky's happy you enjoyed the cartoon lore. Lucky loves learning cute things about cartoons. Sometimes a cartoon just really captures your attention. Lucky likes that one a lot. It feels like a slice of life anime. It has like a really good vibe to it. I mean, I guess it makes sense that it was the thing that was competing with Pokemon, because they basically made an anime. Okay, Lucky is going to draw something else. Lucky needs more ideas for things to draw. This has been kind of a slow, sleepy drawing stream. I mean, Lucky always says that, and then when we look back at the drawings, there's actually quite a few of them. But Lucky's always trying to keep up the energy. What else can Lucky draw? Lucky's thinking about it. I mean, Lucky could try drawing the Weekenders, but Lucky's not very good at drawing humans. Draw what you think a Digimon is. Well, Lucky has seen Digimon, but Lucky doesn't remember them, so maybe without looking at reference images, Lucky can just try to draw like the concept of a Digimon. Digimon, Lucky knows that they start as little babies. They start as like little squishy guys. They're all just little blobs. And then they've got like eyes, and the eyes are like, um, well, that's not right, but something like that. They've got some cool layers to their eyes. Lucky kind of did some crazy shapes there, but you get the idea. And then they've got a lot of like little spikes. There's probably one that looks something like that. They tend to be more angular than Pokemon, at least in the early generations. Digimon have kind of hard edges to them, in addition to the blobs. They emphasize less organic shapes and more like, a combination of like squishy and hard. At least that's Lucky's impression of them. And then, sometimes they've got like little faces like that, and maybe like a little stripe there, little details that really make them stand out. And I mean, that's pretty good. And then you could do like, the digivolved form is like, maybe it's like a little more detailed. This is kind of closer to like the Pokemon design philosophy for evolution, but just from memory, it's like you add a little more detail, and then you kind of, something like that. And then maybe it's got something different now. Maybe it's got like a beak now. And maybe this shape has become like something more complicated, and maybe vaguely angelic. Maybe it's got like a cross. And then it's got like, you know, some kind of feet. And then it's got like um this is turning out really funny. You know, it's got to have some kind of hands. You know, the thing about Digimon is more than Pokemon, Digimon are like little friends that talk to you. And um, so this one is just like a little guy. You know, maybe he's didn't look as good as Lucky was hoping. Well, that's okay. Got a little mouth. That's kind of weird. Probably shouldn't have given it a mouth under the beak. That's kind of overkill. That's fine though. And then it's got like some stripes here, maybe. Digimon like having little tiger stripes, right? Yeah. And like, I mean, honestly, that's pretty good. Maybe, maybe there's little orbs coming out of here. We don't really know what that's about. It's just, you know, more detail. Okay, that's Lucky's concept for a Digimon. Just the first two forms of it. Maybe the third form is just like a full-on humanoid angel thing, you know, or just something totally different, something like conceptually similar, but like completely different design. That's Lucky's impression of generally what Digimon are like. Draw the Weekenders, but as non-humans. Pony Weekenders, Digimon Weekenders. Final form is a pizza UFO. That's so true. Yeah, actually, this is the entire concept is you start with this little guy and then he evolves into this and then just becomes a pizza UFO. This is the evolution of a Digimon. That's just what they're like. And this one's name is like, at least in the localized version, it's like this one's name as the baby is like still something Japanese that like you don't understand. And then this one is named like Olivemon or something. And then this one's name is UFO Pizzamon. And you know, you're like, I guess this one's called Olivemon because it's like it's becoming a pizza. It's like part of a pizza. And then this one's name is just like, you know, Japanese for like pizza. I don't know if there's got to be a Japanese word for pizza. Yeah. So that's the at least the English localized version of the Digimon. Lucky watched a little bit of Digimon as a kid. Yeah, it has tiger stripes like a pizza, exactly. Oh, the babies are usually Japanese onomatopoeia. See, Lucky didn't know that. Lucky knew that the babies generally had Japanese names, but Lucky never really knew what they meant. So that makes sense. They're just little sounds that they might make. That's cute. So they kind of say their names the same way Pokemon do, or maybe it's not the sounds that they make. Maybe it's just the sounds that they evoke. Lucky doesn't know for sure. Deep lore. Deep lore about Pizza Digimon. Lucky could try to draw the Weekenders as some kind of creatures. Some kind of little creatures or ponies or something. Lucky's gonna look at a picture of the Weekenders and try to imagine them as little guys. I mean, I think in some ways Petey from Lucky's drawings, Petey is kind of um, a little bit inspired by that one girl from the Weekenders. You know, she's kind of, I think that's Lore. I think her name's Lore. Petey's a little bit inspired by Lore. Deep lore about lore. Okay, Lucky's gonna try to draw them. as Digimon, as just little guys. So we've got like the main kid. Well, we say the main kid. I don't know. He's the protagonist of the first episode, maybe. He always kind of seems like the protagonist, even though he's just one of the four kids. Lucky um, Lucky. Anyway, Lucky's gonna try to draw like what if this guy was a little Digimon. Lucky needs reference images. So this is Tinomon. Tinomon. Oh, Keymon, Peachmon, Squeak and Splash. That makes sense. That's so cute. Yeah, they're just little guys. They're just little babies that make little sounds. Okay, we've got Tinomon. Let's try the others. Yeah, Lucky's really happy about Tinomon. He turned out pretty good. Might give him some other features, but we're going to draw the others first to make sure we can capture their essences. So Lore is like... What does she look like? She's got like that. Okay, so we were halfway there. We've got Tinomon and Loremon. Yeah, they do just kind of look like little aliens, just little alien versions of the Weekenders. Well, let's see if we can do Carvermon. Carvermon is like... How would we do that? Got like 6 little spikes of hair. Lucky is still not looking up any reference images of Digimon. Lucky is just doing the Digimon vibe from memory and only looking up pictures of the Weekenders. So there's a particular look that we're going to get from this. Let's see. I wanted to give them all like different mouths. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, we got Tinomon, Loremon, Carvermon. And then we gotta make Tishmon. She seems like the most difficult, but we're gonna try. It's it's a little silly. Oh, and what do we do about, because she's got glasses, but like, is there some way to evoke that in an organic way with the Digimon, or should we just give the Digimon glasses? We could always like, what if a Digimon looked like this? What if it just had like little eyes and then some like kind of rings around the eyes? Yeah. And then it's got these. And then like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Tishmon. And then let's give them a little bit more. Let's give them like, okay, let's actually look at some Digimon now. Okay. See, there's quite a variety of Digimon eyes. We probably could have got more creative, but I mean, we were mostly going with like the Gen 1 kind of style, but there are others. You know, Tishmon at least can look something like this. And then like Loremon is like that. You know, maybe yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And then like, you know, Tinomon could have some kind of spike. And then like, Carvermon needs something special. Maybe, um, Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. And feel like they're missing something. Yeah, that's cute. And, you know, we could do like a little bit of that. Koromon. Which one is Koromon? Koromon. Yeah, yeah. I think Koromon is kind of just like the platonic ideal of a Digimon in Lucky's head. So that makes sense. Well, anyway, this is Lucky's concept for Tishmon turned out a little too high detail. Also forgot to like, yeah, there we go, shade that a little bit. Um, yeah, they're kind of inconsistent. It's like Tinomon and Loremon look good. Maybe we went overboard with the shading on the other two. And you know, I think the eyes turned out weird. I think we should have got more creative with the eyes. If we did a second pass at these, I think we would probably want to give them like different eyes in general, give them more variety. But yeah, you get a general idea. We got Tinomon, Loremon, Carvermon, and Tishmon. And that's what if the Weekenders were Digimon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like we could have got more creative with the shapes too, you know, like they're little guys, but like some of them have different shapes. It's like what's that one that looks kind of like a little Pac-Man ghost? Like Carver could have been shaped more like that. You know, I didn't really know what to do with Carver, so he just kind of ended up being this kind of, you know, non-committal kind of rounded cube shape, but probably could have been more deliberate. Could have been the little tall one. Carver's just got kind of like a long face, you know. Sunomon. Sunomon. Lucky's gonna look that one up. Oh. Well, yeah, no, that was kind of the idea for Tinomon is that he was a little bit Sunomon coded. But actually Carver could be kind of like that too. Yeah, that's cute. Lucky can see that. Or honestly, Tishmon could have been a little more like that. Lucky would love to give this another try sometime and get more creative with them because actually Weekender's Digimon is a really cute idea. They're both Pokemon competitors if you think about it. I mean, I don't know if Digimon was like a Pokemon competitor or if it's the other way around or like how that happened historically, but in a way, Digimon and Weekenders are both competitors of Pokemon. Did we really just spend a whole hour on that? Is that what we did with the last? I mean, I guess that would have been like 45 minutes. Did we draw anything else? I guess we drew. Okay, yeah, we drew these guys also. Lucky forgot. Lucky was just looking at that single page and being like, is that what we spent the entire hour on? But we did Pizza UFO. and then we did Digimon, and then we did Weekenders Digimon, and also Lucky just like talked about the Weekenders a lot. Well, let's draw one more thing before the break. Yeah, no, see, that makes sense. Lucky thought it was something more complicated than that. Digimon only became a Pokemon competitor with the anime because the original Digimon are just Tamagotchi for boys, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But then you make the anime, and it's like, okay, well, now you have an anime about kids going on adventures with their little animal friends. So it kind of becomes a Pokemon competitor, just, by its nature of what it is. Digimon are so cute, though. Lucky's gonna draw one more thing, and it's gonna be, no, not like that. It's gonna be like, yeah, this is, yeah, put a little stripe there, just for good measure. This is Wormwoodmon. And then Wormwoodmon would evolve into Dannymon, and Dannymon would be like a really detailed humanoid angel. That's Lucky's idea. You start with Wormwoodmon, and then you get Dannymon, and then maybe Rubymon. Yeah. Yeah, a deep dive on like the origins of Pokemon and Digimon would be cool. It does seem like it could be convergent evolution, because like, there's plenty of things about monsters and stuff like that. It seems like maybe they started from totally different places and just ended up in a similar place just because of like where the market was, or just by chance. Yeah, Lucky never really thought about that. The idea that Pokemon evolution really is just a thing that exists because of bug catching and the idea that bugs go through metamorphosis. Well, yeah, and Digimon being like Tamagotchi, I mean, really the idea of a pet growing and or going through metamorphosis, that's just kind of something that's inherent to having an animal, right? You have a puppy and it turns into a dog. You have a caterpillar, it turns into a butterfly. Like, it kind of makes sense. Lucky's never really thought about it in those terms. I mean, definitely thought about the fact that, like, the appeal of Pokemon is that you're catching little guys, that you're going out and, exploring the wildlife and like having a little pet that you found and understanding its life cycle and how it, interacts with the world around it and fits into the ecosystem and things like that. You learn facts about them in the Pokedex. It's like it makes sense. Yeah, Tamagotchi is like a little more human, right? Tamagotchi is like baby, kid, teen, adult. Yeah. Tamagotchis are little guys, whereas Pokemon are little animals, at least conceptually. That is interesting. Yeah, not quite the same as a caterpillar to have like just like a baby growing up. Different thing. That is interesting. Lucky's going to be thinking about this a lot. When Lucky was a kid, Lucky would go out with like a little plastic Pokeball toy and like get really excited about the idea of catching Pokemon. Like just run around and play pretend and like imagine catching Pokemon. And I think part of that was just the desire to have wildlife to engage with, just like find a cool animal. And I think that's kind of just like a sign of the world that we live in, that like Pokemon, part of the fantasy of it is that a kid gets to see an animal, you know, which is like when Lucky would go to the forest as a kid, Lucky would be like a farm kid sometimes and like go for a hike in the woods and see like deers and birds and, pick berries and hear about bears in the area and stuff. And it's like when you're surrounded by wildlife like that, you don't need to imagine Pokemon. You just got the animals. I mean, not that Pokemon are inferior or anything. It's just like I think to some degree the fantasy of Pokemon is the fantasy of living somewhere away from nature and wanting to be a little more immersed in nature, wanting to go into the woods and find a bug. At least that's what it was like for Lucky. Lucky is looking at chat. Were you aware there's a Digimon that's literally just a Tamagotchi that got isekai'd? No, I mean, I know the kids get isekai'd in the beginning of the anime. Nanimon. Lucky doesn't know any of what any of this means. Yeah, pond skaters are really cool, right? There's all kinds of cool animals you see as a kid, and you're like, wow, what is that? And then, someone's like, watch out, don't touch it, or you play with it, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to go home, and you go inside, and then you're away from the aminals, and then, maybe they cut down the forest or something, and then you don't get to play with the aminals anymore, and it's like, give me back my aminals. And so I think Pokemon kind of fills that void a little bit. Lucky really likes going for a walk in the woods. We used to find mushrooms and all kinds of cool things. There was like a skull, and it had something in it. And Lucky still doesn't know exactly what that was. There was like some weird shape inside the skull. I don't know if it was just like the beginning of like a beehive or what it was. It was something weird. It was something kind of fractal. Very mysterious. Mysterious things in the woods. One time we found a little bird that had fallen out of its nest. I can't remember if we helped it or if maybe we were under the impression that you weren't supposed to do that. But we did find eggs too and feathers and stuff. And we would pick wild berries that we found. There was all kinds of cool stuff out there. There was like a laundry machine or maybe like a dishwasher or a refrigerator or something. There was some appliance that was just out in the middle of the woods. And it was like, what are you doing here? And it was just like abandoned out there. That was always very mysterious. Like, do you think someone just went and dumped it there? Do you think it got swept away in like a disaster of some kind? It's always like, how did that get here? How did they get it like out in the middle of the woods? Was it there before the trees grew? Like, what was it doing there? Maybe they just dumped it. Was there like evidence inside? Lucky doesn't know. Rehaving a seagull sounds so cool. We helped a baby possum one time, I think. I think it was a possum. Lucky was very young. Aw, seagull is so cute. Lucky always liked the seagulls. Yeah, I guess it is easier to just dump something in the woods than to drive it to the dump. Just drop it somewhere. That makes sense. I mean, especially like, there's all kinds of situations you can get into. Maybe you really need to get rid of it, or maybe like there's a problem in the road, and so the trash collector people who come to pick up your junk like haven't shown up in a while, and you're getting impatient, and you're like, I just need to get rid of this. When you're living out in the woods, any kind of thing can happen. Oh, Lucky had so many viewers earlier. There's fewer now. Lucky tries not to pay attention, but Lucky really wants followers. Lucky wants to become affiliate, and Lucky is so close, and Lucky wants people to watch and follow. Should probably be putting some cuter drawings up here. Wormwood is cute. And the giraffe is pretty cute. Oh yeah, I guess there is potentially a fee for like getting something picked up, and so sometimes if you don't want to pay for that or you can't, then you might just want to just put it in the woods, and then it turns into a cool thing that a kid finds. Oh, people are watching the World Cup. That's true. Or they're outside in the heat, or maybe there's somewhere that's it's not too hot. Yeah, soccer. Soccer makes sense. Our neighbors were watching soccer. They were yelling really loud the other night. Someone scored a goal and they were yelling and it was awesome. Lucky was so hyped. Lucky was like, I don't know what just happened, but it sounds great. Lucky likes getting excited, even if Lucky doesn't know what's going on. Well, Lucky is gonna take a short break, and then Lucky will be back for the final hour of drawing, and maybe we can draw something really, really fun. But it's okay if it's kind of just a sleepy day. As long as Lucky's having a nice time, that's what's important. Lucky just also wants to be Twitch affiliate because it would be fun to make money, and that's the main thing, right? You just get paid for all the money that Twitch owes you. That would be nice. Getting fin-dommed by the website. Anyway, Lucky will be right back. swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl. Hi everybody, Lucky is back. Lucky is excited to draw more stuff. Lucky's been drawing a lot. Lucky's gonna remove some of these pages so you can see some of the stuff Lucky's been drawing. This was If the Weekenders Were Digimon. This is Wormwoodmon. Over here was another page. Lucky's gonna get that page out so you can see that. Lucky did some, this is just like Lucky trying to remember what a Digimon looks like from memory, just generally. And then this is a pizza UFO. Lucky's proud of the pizza UFO. It turned out pretty good. And oh yeah, and then this was Danny with some weed. Lucky's trying to get that on the screen. There we go. Yeah. And this was like another UFO. Lucky's gonna put Weed Danny over there. And that's some of the things that Lucky's been drawing. And now there's 1 more hour of drawing, and Lucky's gonna try to draw even more stuff. Lucky's gonna draw something really good. Lucky wants to draw the best thing ever. Yeah. Lucky swirl, lucky swirl, lucky swirl. It has been a sleepy week. We're on the last hour of the stream of the week, and it really feels like the whole week has been sleepy. It probably is just the heat getting to Lucky. Lucky loves the heat, but is probably not totally conscious of like how tired it makes us. Probably getting to us a little bit. Oh, Lucky do a big yawn. Lucky do a big stretch. Sleepy. Pony's always sleepy. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Just feels like the energy's been lower this week, which is fine, but Lucky wants to really pick it up next week. Draw a Pillonian. What's a Pillonian? Like some kind of pillow person? Decide what that is before or after. Okay. Lucky's going to draw a Pillonian. What if there was... Obviously a Pillonian is someone from Pillonia. And Pillonia is the city of Pillonians. Probably should have had like button eyes instead of like whatever these are. Well, it's a good first attempt. I mean, that's pretty cute. But yeah, what if I think we can do better. Polonian can be like, that looks kind of worse, actually. Okay, but what if they had like, yeah, draw the tassels a little softer. I mean, really, those just don't even look like buttons. Really, we need to do more research into pillows. Need to look at some cushions, you know, really get an idea of like the essence of a pillow. I mean, I like the tassels. I think, you know, that very basic detail really evokes that something is cushiony, you know, without having to even be specific. But I think something that we're missing is that Polonian might have like some kind of like this going on, right? Where it's like the buttons are kind of drawing in the fabric, you know, into like a little point. And then the tassels, you know, I think we can get a little more creative with those too. Yeah, okay. And then like gotta be really deliberate here. We're gonna make it clear that these are the eyes, and then there's just gonna be like a little mouth like that. Um, well, so here's some different takes on Polonians. Lucky's not totally satisfied with any of them. I don't know. Somehow these just aren't turning out as good as Lucky's hoping. The essence is cotton. Yeah, that's a good point. Polonian. Well, maybe the point is less that these are people that are pillows and more that they sort of just like evoke pillows, right? Maybe a Polonian is like, you know, someone who's just kind of squishy and pillowy. You know, just kind of a pillow guy. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think that's better. And Clucky's, it obviously the first one had its own, you know, real cuteness to it, but oh, what if we gave this one like, yeah, that's kind of cute. Yeah, okay. Final answer. This is a Polonian. This is what a Polonian looks like. It's just a really, really soft, pillowy little guy. You know, maybe they've got like, some of them have heads like this. And the perspective's not quite right, but you get the idea, you know, kind of a sideways pillow head. And maybe this one does have the little tassels. Maybe it's like that. Something like that. Anyway, that's some ideas for Polonians. Yeah, it is kind of Marshmallow Man, isn't it? You could also have like, you know, more of like you know, kind of play with the shapes a little bit. You know, something like that. I don't know. Polonians. I don't know if Curie saw all the Polonians. There's many kinds. Honestly, just conceptually, Lucky likes this top one the most. Just very, very bonky, squishy kind of shape. But this one's really cute too. This little marshmallowy guy. But I think this is Lucky's favorite. Lucky could draw more of those. Eileen had the idea to draw Lammy and Parappa, but Lucky feels like the energy is too low today. Lucky doesn't even feel like confident enough to draw that. Lucky's feeling like kind of conceptually weak today, like brain tired. Heat is melting Lucky's little pony brain. It doesn't even feel that hot. Lucky likes when it's extra hot because Lucky likes to feel the heat, but it seems like Lucky, whatever is supposed to like sense heat in your body, it seems like Lucky's is broken. And Lucky doesn't even know it's hot until it gets like really, really hot. Like it's gotta be like 90s or like 100 inside. Lucky barely even sweats. Just kind of melts Lucky's brain before Lucky even realizes it. I mean, Lucky was getting chilly the other day when it was like high 70s. Cold pony. Lamian, Lammy lesbian, yeah. Lammy is a lesbian. She's with Katie Cat, right? Or like maybe they're just both lesbians and they're not together. You know, they're in a band together, but I don't know. I don't know if maybe they're exes. I don't know what their thing is. Lucky really likes that Pokemon Ledian. Lucky always imagines it's a lesbian. Lediba also really cute. Pony's getting woozy. Pony's gotta lie down after this. Well, maybe we can just draw some of these classic little angel friends. This is only the second time we've done the webcam drawing, right? Yeah, Lucky's hydrating. Thank you for reminding Lucky. Lucky's drinking lots of water. Lucky gets water during every break. Lucky's a good pony. Lucky's drinking water. Lucky's being good. Lucky's eating food. This morning, Lucky had sardines and nori and rice, and it was kind of just like it was like an onigiri bowl. It was really good. I think this is only the second webcam stream, which is maybe why Lucky's feeling so intimidated, is because like the first one went really well, but you know, you kind of had the sense that like this was the first time, so it was okay if it was a little awkward. And you know, the time was all messed up because we had technical difficulties and stuff. But now it's the second time, and Lucky's like feeling like we should have the hang of this by now. But it's okay if we don't. It's okay if things are a little slow. I think also Warframe Wednesday, it was really fun, but it was the only day that Lucky didn't get any followers. So Lucky got a little self-conscious about that, but it's okay. Aw, thank you. Lucky appreciates the encouragement. Thank you, thank you. Lucky's glad. Pony is doing its best. Pony's trying really hard to have a fun time. But the important part of having fun is that you gotta, you can't try too hard. You gotta just relax and have fun. And it's nice to hang out. I think sometimes Pony gets lost in the sauce of like wanting to get all the followers to become an affiliate and all that stuff. I mean, once we become an affiliate, we won't even have to think about it, right? At that point, like, you know, the milestones kind of become meaningless. And so at that point, I don't think Lucky's even going to be worrying about it. It's just like, we're an affiliate, and if people want to subscribe, then they can, but it's just whatever. But right now we have a goal, and so Lucky's goal oriented. But Lucky shouldn't worry about it so much. Lucky should just relax and have fun. Lucky's gonna draw something really fun and cute. That's kind of a wonky looking Danny. Let's try that again. See, you gotta not worry so much, because now that we're drawing Danny a lot, it's like we're really loosening up. We really should start doing warm-ups before the stream, just so we can like draw a lot without being self-conscious about it. Lucky goal, lucky goal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lucky has goal. Lucky want 25 followers. Lucky have 21. So Lucky will get there eventually. Draw Lucky as a Pokemon. That's a good idea. I mean, really, Lucky as a Pokemon would just be, is it Galarian Ponyta? I think that's the one. Lucky love that one. That one is basically Lucky as a Pokemon. I mean, there could also be a Pokemon that's like a UFO or a car. But Lucky doesn't know if there's anything like that. There should be a little UFO Pokemon. That would be cute. But Lucky's too tired to draw Pokemon, so Lucky's just gonna draw angels. There, that's a good Danny. That one turned out really good. That's what Danny should look like. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. These are both good Dannys. Danny can have very different eyes depending on the situation. Oh, Lucky needs types and moves. Lucky is, well, assuming Lucky is not just Galarian Ponyta, if Lucky was Pokemon, Lucky would be probably some combination of like Psychic or Fairy. Um, Lucky likes Psychic. Psychic feels right. Lucky wants to be some kind of Esper or something. Lucky wants Psychic powers, and Lucky doesn't remember what kind of moves Pokemon have. I don't know what the Psychic moves are. But Lucky would be really cool. Lucky would do lots of stuff like that. Someday Lucky would love to make like a humongous style point and click game about Danny and Wormwood. But that would be a lot of work. That's like a lot of animation and programming and voice acting and stuff. Plus you gotta do music. You gotta design like, little puzzly kind of things. It's a lot of work to do something like that, but it would be really fun someday. Lucky was just thinking about it because Lucky really likes drawing these characters over and over, and it's like sometimes they're just kind of standing there smiling, and that's like, not always the best thing, but when you're just making a little point and click adventure, it's kind of fun to just have the character just standing there smiling. Lucky will make a cartoon someday. Lucky's determined to, because Lucky made like a really short, like 15-second or something, like cartoon about Danny and Wormwood once, and it had like voices and lip syncing and stuff. But Lucky would love to do more of that someday, and be more efficient about it, and like Lucky's gotten better at using those tools, and Lucky would really like to make like a full length like pilot for like a cartoon about them. Not even necessarily as a pitch, but just as a thing to show people. Doesn't have to be like a full series or anything, but I mean it would be cool to make something longer. Do like a little crowdfunding, I don't know. Crowdfunding sounds scary, but something like that. Just get people to get on board with it and support Lucky. Support Lucky making lots of cartoon. Danny Humongous Game. Yeah, Lucky would love that. Danny and Wormwood's adventure. Lucky doesn't know what would happen in that game. Like, would you tell the story of how Danny met Wormwood, and then would you go from there? Would they like maybe part of it is like you have to get all the stuff that Wormwood needs to begin angel training, and so it all takes place on Wormwood's first day, and you have to go get Wormwood like a halo, and I mean, what else do you need to become an angel? And Wormwood doesn't even have a halo, so that would be kind of silly. Like you go get the halo and none of them fit, and then it's like, well, you don't need that. Maybe you check it off the list anyway. Maybe you just have to try everything and nothing works. Or maybe there's something else. I don't know. Maybe Danny has to like complete some tasks to become an angel. I mean, not Danny, Wormwood. Lucky got all mixed up, but you know what Lucky means. Danny meets Wormwood, and then Wormwood becomes an angel, and then Wormwood has to do a bunch of tasks to become an angel. Or maybe Wormwood has to help Danny with something. Maybe like it's Wormwood's first day as Danny's apprentice, but like Danny's struggling with something, and so Wormwood has to help. And they have to work together. Or maybe there's just like a problem that they have to solve, Like just something has gone wrong and they have to figure out how to fix it. And so that's like, Wormwood considers that like his first test as an angel apprentice. Entire adventure game about going to the store. Yeah, I mean, they could go to the store. It could just be about their journey to go somewhere. Or just like going shopping. Maybe like Ruby's like, okay, your first test as an angel apprentice is you have to go pick up some groceries. And so Danny and Wormwood have to like go to the angel grocery store. And they just have to like find all the things that Ruby needs. Ruby just wants um like stuff to make smoothies, and like she needs like some like special fertilizer for her flowers and stuff like that. And maybe you have to like get the other angels to help out, like make some trades, do some bartering, I don't know. Solve some puzzles to get things from people. Like he always likes the aspect of putt-putt games that's like in one of them, and I think it's putt-putt enters the race. Putt-putt has to like collect empty bottles and like recycle them in exchange for coins. Putt-putt gets rewarded just for like helping out the community. And even in the first game, like putt-putt is like mowing lawns and delivering groceries. I think those are from the first game. And so like there's kind of just this constant sense of like, you know, you gotta help people. You gotta help people because it's nice, because they need help. And then they will give you things in return, but it's not so much about the reward. It's kind of just like society will function if we all work together. Lucky thinks that's really beautiful. It's really cute to make a game where you just like you gotta get coins, and so you get those coins by like mowing lawns and delivering groceries and stuff. And people are just like, "Hey kid, thanks for helping out." Putt-Putt's a good kid. Just gonna fill this whole page with Danny and Wormwood. Yeah. This is nice. Lucky just wants to draw angels for the rest of the stream. Their faces look a little funny there, but that's okay. It was like a really scribbly Danny and Wormwood, and honestly, sometimes that's the best kind. Lucky is really happy with these ones. Honestly, the more wonky and scribbly they look, the better. Well, maybe not that scribbly. That one's a little messed up. It's about the balance. Yeah, Wonky and Scribbly is a good aesthetic. Wonky Punko. Lucky's excited for Wonky Punko. Girlsoft is making Wonky Punko, and it's gonna be great. Gotta finish that sometime. Wonky Punko, Wonky Punko. Wonky Punko is a game about wonkies. They're really good. Wonky and Scribbly. Hi, I am Wonky and I am Scribbly. An Amazon Prime original series. There was some show, we were browsing the shows on like the Amazon streaming thing for some reason. And there was a show that was about like two little like construction vehicles or something, and their names were Stinky and Dirty. And the trailer was literally just like one of them was like, "Hi, I'm Stinky," and the other one was like, "I'm Dirty," and then it was like an Amazon Prime original series with like dramatic music, and it was like the best thing Lucky's ever seen. Lucky thinks about that a lot. Wonky Punko, Wonky Punko. I am Scribbly, and I'm Wonky. Welcome to the Scribbly and Wonky Show. I am Lucky, and I am Swirly. Welcome to Lucky Swirl. We have fused into one being. We are now Lucky Swirl. Uh, Lucky feels brain melting. Auto caption decided on Lucky Squirrel. Yeah, people used to mishear Lucky Swirl as Lucky Squirrel. And Lucky had to get really good at saying swirl so people would hear it correctly. Lucky Swirl, Lucky Swirl, Lucky Swirl. Because if you say it too fast, it's just Lucky Squirrel. And everyone's like, Lucky Squirrel. And then it's like, no, Lucky's not a squirrel. Lucky's a pony. Squirrels are good, but Lucky's not that. If you fused into one being, then what were only Lucky and only Swirl like? That's a good question. I mean, Lucky was just being silly, but if there was only Lucky and only Swirl, I feel like Lucky would be. I feel like Lucky would be a boy and Swirl would be a girl. Maybe Swirl just rhymes with girl, and that's why. And Swirl would be like kind of like magical girl, and Lucky would just be like psychic, and Swirl would be like some kind of like unicorn UFO, whereas Lucky would be like pony car. No, Lucky would also be a UFO. Well, not sure. Maybe Swirl would be like a car girl, and Lucky would be like UFO pony. Yeah, yeah. That would be cute. If Lucky Swirl turned out to be a fusion, and then Lucky like dissolved into Lucky and Swirl. Auto caption also likes making Lucky be like he. Yeah, Lucky can be boy sometimes. Lucky can be girl sometimes. Lucky is lots of Luckies. Likey squirrel. Lychee? Lychee? Likey? Lychee? Lychee? Lychee. Lychee? Lucky has to look up pronunciation. Lucky has said lychee, but is that right? Lychee?
Lychee.
Lychee. Lucky was under the impression that it might be lychee, but maybe it's lychee. 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 What does lychee look like? Lucky has had something lychee-ish, right? Oh, a little red guy. Has Lucky had that? I feel like Lucky's tried that. I feel like Lucky has eaten a lychee at some point. Lucky has like a memory of this. Lucky doesn't have the best memory, but Lucky seems to remember trying this. Oh, lychee in Hawaii, but heard Chinese people say it lychee, so who knows? Yeah, right? People will act like there's one way to pronounce something and then. Huh? Oh, yeah, yeah. That's why Lucky Wife know it is lychee, because that's the Chinese way. That's why she always says lychee. That's why that's the way Lucky knows it. Yeah, yeah. It's like kangi, where it's like Lucky says kanji, and at first it's like, that's not right, it's kangi. But then you look it up and it's like, no, actually, lots of people say kanji. Hockey is eating the light. I don't even know what the captions were going for with that one. Hockey is eating the light. Lucky is eating the lychee. Hockey is eating the light. Hockey swirl. If Lucky played hockey, Lucky would be hockey swirl. When you swirl around on the ice when you're playing hockey, that's a hockey swirl. Hockey swirl, hockey swirl, hockey swirl. Lucky would be too scared to play hockey. It sounds really intense. Lucky likes sports, but Lucky doesn't like getting hurt. Lucky doesn't like pain and injury. I mean, not that, not that you would definitely get hurt playing hockey, but it sounds scary. Sounds really intense. Yeah, ice swirl sounds really hard. Lucky's like okay at ice skating, but I don't think Lucky could ever be like a figure skater or a hockey player. Lucky would slip and fall and die. It would be very scary. Lucky would just immediately slip and fall and die instantly. And everyone would be like, oh no, what happened to Lucky? And it would be like, oh, she died. Sorry. And that's why Lucky doesn't play hockey. Lucky would like to play badminton or maybe tennis. And Lucky would like some chill ice skating. And Lucky would like roller skating also, but not like roller derby, just like relaxing roller skating around. Yeah, tennis sounds fun. Lucky's more scared of tennis balls than badminton birdies because like tennis balls are like big and heavy, and if they hit you, it sounds really scary. Those things could like break your nose. A badminton birdie hits your nose and it's just kind of funny. You just kind of like feel funny in your nose and you fall over and it's fine. Those things can like bonk you right in the head and you'll be fine. But I feel like if a tennis ball hit you hard enough, that would be scary. That would hurt a lot. Tennis balls are just like so big and round and fast, and Lucky has the fear of getting bonked in the head because someone bonked Lucky in the head once. Badminton is really fun. It is like the ball's underwater. Badminton is like you're in space. Badminton feels so floaty, but also like when you hit it just right, it feels really good. And Lucky really likes that. Badminton animal, yeah. Yeah, right? Tennis balls are painful. Lucky's glad you agree. One time Lucky said that tennis is more scary than badminton. Everyone was like, what are you talking about, Lucky? And Lucky's like, no, you have to believe Lucky. Badminton animal sounds really cute. Lucky's gonna try to draw that. Lucky really likes badminton. Lucky used to be okay at badminton. Um, One time Lucky's gym teacher was like, if you beat me in badminton, I will automatically pass you in this class, but if you challenge me and you fail, then I will lower your grade by one letter. And Lucky was like, well, what do we have to lose? And so Lucky challenged the teacher. Lucky was the only one to go up against him. And Lucky lost. And Lucky grade went down a letter. And so it went from like a B to a C, or maybe it was a C to a D. Lucky doesn't remember. But Lucky was really excited about the idea of like the challenge. Lucky love a challenge. Lucky can't resist. But that was how Lucky learned the secret to badminton, which is that it's all about cardio. You gotta tire the other person out. At least in that situation, it was like that guy could sense that Lucky wouldn't be able to keep up the cardio, so he just like sent the birdie really far in both directions and just tired Lucky out really fast. And it was actually a really good lesson. Lucky learned a lot. But yeah, you do run a lot in tennis. And in badminton is like you can run a little bit slower because the birdie has drag, and so maybe that's why it's more fun also. Tennis is like you gotta run so fast and just back and forth and like, you know, it's really intense, whereas badminton's like a little more chill. Lucky's gonna try the badminton animal. Let me look up what a badminton birdie looks like. The shuttlecock, as they call it. The little bird that goes back and forth. Badminton animal. And would it not just be like a birdie with a little face on it, like a bird? I feel like it would be something different, like a bug, or like, or maybe the badminton birdie is like the head, and it's got like a little nose. Well, let's see. Yeah, what if it was just just ends up drawing wormwood anyway. But yeah, what if it was like that, and then it was like, you kind of just evoke the feathers. It's hard to draw all the feathers, but shuttlecock is what a solar system persona would have. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's pretty smart. That's genius. Yeah, Wormwood's wearing a little dress. Looks beautiful. That's one idea for a badminton animal. You could also do like something like that. And then like, what would the body be like? Badminton racket looks like that. Maybe you could do like the body would be like the racket. And then, you got like the handle here. Yeah, that's Lucky's other idea for a badminton animal is just this type of goose thing. Now it's off the screen. We gotta keep it on the screen so you can see it. There it is. Yeah, like a flamingo. That makes sense. Yeah, less of a goose and more of a flamingo. So that's some ideas. We got badminton flamingo. badminton bug. There's probably some other ways you could do it. But Lucky can't think of anything else. I mean, you know, I guess you could have like something like that with like um well, you know, just the idea of the eyes being there and then the rest of it is like kind of more like that. I don't know what goes over there. I mean, maybe it just has like little feet. You know, that are like tiny rackets. Tiny little webbed racket feet. Honestly, that's the cutest one. Lucky's pretty happy with this. It's kind of like badminton creature. It's like a weird bird. I don't know if there should be any more detail on the eyes. It feels like the eyes need a little more detail. Yeah, something like that. Little badminton creature. Lucky likes that. Yeah, type of bug. Yeah, it does look like a bug of some kind. It looks like some kind of like tree hopper, like something. It's really cute. Or like a katydid or something, you know? Maybe it's got other legs, but they're not visible. You know, it only walks on two legs. It's evolved to be like that. Lucky's gonna get these pages out of here, and then we can start wrapping things up because it looks like it's been a few hours. It would drink nectar, yeah. Oh, the feathers are a big mouth. Wait, that's such a good idea. Oh, how would that even... Oh, that's really good. Okay, Lucky's gonna try one more thing. Lucky's gonna try... Lucky can't resist that idea. It's a cat meowing because the cat knows that it's an hour until dinner time. What if this was like some kind of lamprey mouth? What if it was like that and then like, yeah, something like that. You know, there's this sense that like the mouth goes even deeper. There's just the tip of the iceberg, you know, and then you got the feathers. And then this is just like the head, you know, this is just like, maybe it's got like, yeah, something like that. And then, yeah, it's kind of a rotifer. That's like a type of microorganism. It's kind of like that. Or, you know, just kind of a squid kind of thing. Some kind of cephalopod. Yeah, that's a badminton monster. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, tennis fly trap. It lures in tennis flies. Okay, well now Lucky has to draw a tennis fly. Tennis ball. Let's see. Tennis ball. Tennis ball. Didn't turn out as round as Lucky was hoping. A little tennis ball would be like this. And then it would be like that. And it would be like that. Yeah, that's the tennis fly. You know, drawn a little bit bigger, and then the tennis fly flies in here to drink some like fake nectar, or just is attracted by the colors or something, or the pheromones, and then it gets swallowed by the badminton monster. And that's just nature. That's just how it works. Cycle of life. And that is a good note to end the stream on. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, yeah. Lucky sword, lucky swirl. Lucky swirl. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Every pony, as they say. Lucky Hope's edible is fun for Kiri. Lucky sword. The little waving pony emote is so cute. Yeah. Lucky swirl. Yeah. Yeah, play Hamtaro, that sounds fun. Lucky swirl. Lucky's gonna put the pony right here. Yeah. Thank you, every pony. This was so much fun. Lucky will be back next week. Lucky's not sure. Lucky was thinking about having just like a 2-day-a-week schedule and doing like longer days, but Lucky hasn't decided yet. Lucky's gonna think about it. But regardless, we will have at least 2 days of fun, and we will do so much fun stuff. We will play games, and we will draw. Maybe we can play a new game. Maybe we can think of something fun to play. And we'll do Overwatch as usual. Lucky like Overwatch. And that's the Lucky show. Lucky swirl. Motor tune. Lucky will look that up. That sounds cute. Is that the? Oh yeah, that's the one about the car. Lucky will think about that. That sounds really cute. Yeah. Lucky swirl. Oh, Lucky's gonna make sounds. Lucky, love you. Lucky had so much fun. Lucky did really good. Okay, Lucky, that's enough. Lucky swirl.